Well, in this slides, we are going to describe about the select statement. And this is the syntax of a basic select statement. So what you're seeing is that you give this keyword called select, and then here we give what we need to select. So this is what columns that we need to select, and then we have a keyword called from, and then the table name, from where we need to, from which table we need to select. And select statement has basically three capability. Number one capability is projection. So what we are saying is that we can select two columns, so column number one and column number two. So this whole thing is our table. And within this table, we can just only select two columns. So that means we project two things. So this is select few columns, and this is a capability of first capability of a select statement. The second capability is selection. So out of this whole table, we are just going to do a selection of two rows, the first two rows. And then we'll see like how we are going to do this select, and then how we filter number of rows based on the filtering condition, or popularly known as where clause. The next thing about select statement is that we have a table called EMP and another table DPT. We can join these two tables to get data from the combined table. As you know that relational database management system, we store data in various tables, and there is a relationship between this table 1 and table 2, and we use that relation to get, and we join based on those relations, and get you the data from both tables. And so now let's do some demo about selecting all columns. So this is my SQL star, and I have two tables. Let's say I have a table called EMP, and employee table has this many number of uh, uh, columns. So if I do something called select star from EMP, I will see all the rows and all the columns. So star means everything. All right. So select star from EMP will fetch me the complete data available in the table. So this is for all columns. And then if I want to do a projection, that means I want to select only the job or salary or name or salary. Then what I do select, as you know, the syntax that we do from what columns we need to select. Let's say I select ename, comma, sal. Then from clause, from table name is here. So I just see only the ename and salary. So this is an example of projection, and one of the capability that I told you in my previous slides is shown here. And if you want to do a selection, what you do is you do select ename, comma, sal from EMP. So if you want to see a fewer number of rows, so you need to give a condition where, let's say my sal is less than 1000. So in that case, only two rows being selected, because this condition where sal is less than 1000 being satisfied by only two rows. Okay, so we have this. If we look at the DESC EMP, so it will give me the structure of the table. So the structure of table will give me what are the columns available in the table. However, there are a couple of columns which is called pseudo columns, which is not shown here, but those are internally present for each table. One of them is row num, and another is called row ID. So let's try to select row ID, comma, ename from EMP. So essentially what you're seeing, the row ID is some kind of hexadecimal representation of the address of the row where this king, the employee name king, is stored in the database. So row ID essentially a unique identifier. It can identify a row based on this row ID, and that is also called pseudo column. You do not have that row ID. Row ID is present by default. So the other pseudo columns are like current val, next val for recipients, and then row num, and then person underscore start time, person underscore start SCN. So those are a couple of pseudo columns which is also available by default. So the next thing is that there are multiple operators, and then what we are concerned here, we are concerned about three types of important operators, and we will give an example for each of the operators how they are used in our demo. The number one is arithmetic operator, second is concatenation, third one is set. So let's explain these operators on basics of some example. So the question is, what will be the salary of employees if everyone gets an hike of $500? So that means if I want to find out the current salary, so select ename, sal from emp. So what we are saying is that we are seeing the employee name King, his salary is 5,000. So the question is asked you, what will be King's salary? What will be the clerk's salary? Or what about Alan's salary if the salary is hiked by $500? Okay. So in order to solve this problem, what I do is I do select. I will use operator right now. Select ename, and then I say that salary will increase by 500. So I give salary plus 500 from. So what you're saying is before King's salary was 5,000, so now King's salary become 5,500. So that is the use of, and this is a plus signs, that is the use of arithmetic operator. You can do multiplication, you can do division, you can do subtraction, you can do all the arithmetic operations available to this data set. You cannot do an arithmetic operation on ename because ename is a character. So depending if you can do that, wherever is possible, wherever the data type is allowing you, you can basically do an arithmetic operation and you get a new value for that. So the next question will be another example. What will be the annual salary of employees? That means what we saw here is that uh, Black's salary, sorry, King's salary is 5,000. So King's annual salary will be whatever is salary value right now, that is multiplied by 12. So 12 multiplied by sal column will give you the annual salary. So in order to do that, what we can do, we just do an uh, multiplication. So I do select ename sal multiplied by 12 from MP. So the value whatever we get is the annual salary. All right. So next thing is very important. What is a null value? So before we going to explain about the null values, let's take a look at the commission column in the employee table. So this is our EMP table, and if I do select EMP now, comma ename, comma sal, from EMP. So what we are seeing here is we have employee number 7839, name is King, salary is 5,000, but commission is nothing. So nothing in a DBMS terminology means now. It is not zero, it is not space, it is unknown. It is essentially we do not know what is the value of that. Okay. So now how do I, so this is a null value, right? So you might ask yourself question, what is something salary plus commission, right? So if you decide like if you want to consider commission as a part of your total compensation, so my next question to you is to find out what is the total salary of an employee. So that means salary plus commission multiplied by 12 is the annual total salary, right? So if I do select ename, comma 12 multiplied by addition of sal plus commission from, okay. So the problem here is that I'm not able to compute the salary values for King. The reason is behind this is this, that so basically my problem is that I have a salary and I have a commission in my employee table. I have a salary say 5,000, but commission is nothing, and salary is 3,000. The commission is 100. So whenever I'm adding salary plus commission, so in this case 5,000 plus nothing is nothing. We don't know. The moment you are adding to a null value, also you make a null. But whereas in the second case, 3,000 plus 100 is 3,100. Okay, so that is a reason why in this SQL statement we are seeing some values being nothing, right? So in that case, how do you get the value? So if the assume that if the commission is nothing, so that means he's not getting any commission. So we can do 0. We can consider that thing 0 for that. So what Oracle provides you a function for NVL. So null, not null value, right? So what I can do is if I do NVL commission comma 0, then the value of this thing will be 0 if the commission is null. So that means like, so if I have this is a value commission, and let's say I have for first row and then is my employee number. 1, say commission is nothing. 2, commission is 300. 3, commission is 400, like this. So the moment I do select NVL commission comma 0 from here. So what is going to happen is that whenever I'm getting the first row, since there is nothing, since the commission is null, then the value of this step, this expression will be 0. So let's write NVL commission 0. So for this one, null is 0. But if the value is 3,000, that means if the value is not null, then we do not take it 0. It will be still 300. And in the second case, in the number 3 employee, again the value will be 400. So only this thing will happen whenever the commission value is null. The commission value is null, then whatever you give after the comma, whatever the number you give, that will be taken there. Okay. So if that is the case, so we can basically solve this problem by adding NVL. So how we do? We do select ename comma 12 multiplied by sal plus, here we do NVL and we can do commission comma 0 and then end the bracket from game. Okay. So now wherever there is a commission, we will consider that commission. Wherever there is no commission, we'll consider 0 and then calculate the total salary. All right. So that is what we have the meaning of null value, and then how to eliminate the null value and proceed further. Okay. So this is we consider the bonus and then we calculate the value. So here is another problem that you see. See, like this is ename, and this is 12 multiplied by salary. The heading of this column is not very intuitive. I want to have, instead of this like 12 multiplied by sal and all this thing, I want this thing to be total annual salary. So in order to achieve that, we use a term called alias. So alias is nothing but you give how do you, whenever the Oracle is going to process this query, how the header should come out. So I do select ename comma and I give the number complete this thing. Give this or something. So I need to make better to write it. So 12 multiplied by sal here. Okay. So I will give as total yes, from. So I think I missed something. So it should be double quotes. Okay. So, so are you saying that I changed instead of those all 12 this thing, I changed the heading and change the heading to whatever I like to have by changing by having the statement like as, and this is called column aliases. All right. So using column aliases, uh, we can give whatever the headings we like. So this is what we say in this slide, the defining column aliases. So this is what we give. Instead of giving this e name, we can give a name, and then this is how we are going to do that. Right. Okay. The next thing is we learn about arithmetic operator. So now let's learn about concatenation operator. So concatenation operator is something like the way that you are adding the two numbers. Similarly, to concatenate two strings, we use concatenate operator. Let's say we have a question to ask. Can I? So basically, there is a vertical bars. By using a vertical bars, we can basically concatenate two strings. And here is the question is, if we have employee like select star. The question is, can I write a query? Can I write a query which gives me a output which says that King is working as a president, Blake is working as a manager, Clark is working as manager. So in order to achieve that, I need to do two things. I need to concatenate ename and job, and also I need to add a static string for each working hours. Okay, so let's do that. Select ename. If I just do ename concatenate job from MP, so I'll get all this King, president, Blake, manager. But also I need to have a static string. So that means if I do select ename concatenation, and then here I give static string called working, then I give concatenation. So essentially what I do is I concatenate whatever I get from ename to a static string for working hours, and then whatever I get job. So if I do this, I get King working as president, Black working as manager, Clark working as manager. All right. So this is what is a concatenation operator, and this is what the example that we just did right now. The last one operator is separate. It's set operator. The set operator is something like, say for example, I have employee table. So employee table, whenever I do a select star from employee table, I get a data set. Right? So the complete data set. Then what I can do, I can union, or I can intersect, or I can do a minus, or different types of set operators with another table called employee one or department, or even the same employee, right? So as you see, like my employee table has 14 rows. Okay. So if I do, let's do some example. If I do select ename from EMP, I am getting 14 rows, right? So what I can do is I can union whatever the data set I got, I can union with another query and give you the resulting result. Say select ename from EMP union, select ename from EMP. So union as you do union all, select ename from. So what I see, I got 28 rows, 14 rows from the first query and 14 rows from the second query. And what union does, union combine them together. And if I do a minus, I should not get anything because these are the same identical rows. Right? So next is duplicate row. So let's say, for example, we have another table called BPT. Sorry, we have this employee table. We have a, let's say, see, let's say the structure of the employee table. Okay, so we have a department number. If I do select department number from EMP, so what we're seeing here is that there are a couple of rows. 10 is almost 3 to 4 times. We are finding 30 about 3 to 4 times. So how do I know what is the unique rows? What are the distinct department numbers available in EMP table? Do that, you just do select. You add a keyword called distinct. Department number from EMP. So it will give you exactly what are the unique department numbers available in that table. So that is the keyword distinct that you use to get rid of the duplicates. Okay. The last one is about a table structure, and we already done a lot of time. So using by describe the ESC, you can get the table.